Hi, and thank you for joining me for this 30-minute yoga practice. I'm Andrea. If you don't have a yoga mat, no worries. Find a place in your house that's not too slippery, maybe a carpeted area. I think it's terrific to have a couple of blocks. If you don't have those, some thick books will do the trick. Although I'm barefoot, if you prefer to be wearing shoes, that's great, no problem. A folded towel or blanket can be helpful to sit on and to pad our knees. And then lastly, just grab a cushion from your couch and it can become the bolster that I happen to have here, if that's useful at some point. And it's nice to have a chair if we need it for balance, or I like to use it to get to the floor eventually. And then we will meet together in our bedrock pose, mountain pose, where we often start. It's the pose that we use most often in our daily lives too. So feet hip distance, soft little bend in your knees. Let your palms turn away from one another. And as they do, you can feel that there is a smile to your collarbones. Maybe you even find a smile beyond your collarbones as we stop here for a moment so that we can start. In your mountain pose, as you stand majestically, think ears over shoulders, over hips, over heels. We have a tendency, some of us, probably most of us, to jut our chin forward and round a little bit in the upper back. Let's lean our head back, smile our collarbones, and stand tall. We'll add a bit of movement here. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape, and then exhale, hinge at your hips and place your hands atop your thighs. Inhale, traction into your hands and make some length in your spine, and then exhale, increase the hinge at your hips without letting your head go below your hips. And then inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Pause, palms turn out, we stand in our mountain. Again, our sun salutations. Inhale, thumbs to the sky, a V shape overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands onto your thighs. Inhale, traction and length. Can you keep the smile? Exhale, hinge at your hips. And then inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Pause in your mountain, palms face out. Once more, inhale, V shape, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, traction and length. Exhale, increase the hinge at your hips. And then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Pause in your mountain. So we look to stand tall, but there are twists and turns in our day. Stand just a little wider than hip distance. I want us to construct this next bit carefully. So you will spin onto your left toes and reach your left arm across your body as if you were going to shake hands with someone over towards your right side. And then come through center and your mountain and reach across with your right arm spinning onto the right toes. And then back to our mountain, and we go back and forth, so reaching across but spinning on that left toe. Back to our mountain, reaching across with the right arm and spinning on the right toe. And back to our mountain. Reach and spin, and then back to our mountain. Reach with your right arm, spin on the right toes, stand into your mountain. Let's go back and forth a few more times, and if your tempo is a little slower than mine, or a little brighter and faster than mine, you do you, as the kids say. And then let's take one more round on each side. Spin on those toes as you reach. And then heel toes so that we're once again hip distance, palms turn out. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Hinge at your hips and bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Exhale, increase the hip hinge, but keep your head higher than your hips. Back to chair pose with a V shape, arms overhead, and then back to our mountain. Arms along our sides and palms face out. Chair pose with a V shape, thumbs to the sky. Hands to your thighs, traction with your knees bent. Lengthen and smile your collarbones and anything else. Hinge at your hips, keeping your head high. Stay in your chair, V shape, thumbs to the sky. Stand in your mountain, palms face out. Once more like that. Chair pose, V shape, thumbs to the sky. Hands on your hips. Traction the smile. Increase the hinge at your hips. Keep your knees bent, thumbs to the sky. Let's stay here for just a little dash of quality time in our chair. Keep the V shape. See if you can allow your shoulders not to creep up into your ears by spinning the inner upper arms away from each other, and then stand in your mountain. Palms face out. Ears over shoulders, over hips, over heels. We'll mindfully move our props. If you like to use blocks, and you can always decide at game time when we're in the middle of it, take your blocks to the sides of your mat. So not underfoot, not on your mat, within reach, but not underneath your feet. And it could be that you choose to use your chair, in which case just turn it towards you with your chair base where you can find it, if that's how you like to do. Feet hip distance, we will stand facing that short edge of our mat, and we'll use our sun salutation and add-on. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward. This is where you might choose to use the base of your chair, or you can bring the blocks a little closer, again, not underfoot. Step your left foot back, keep your knee off the ground, and let there be length in your spine, like when we tractioned our thighs a moment ago and found that space. So hands can be on your blocks tall or on the base of your chair, but we're not letting things crumble. Think swinging your right hip underneath you and allowing your left hip to move forward. So we're hugging a middle line. Stamp your right heel into your mat. And when we find the structure in our torso and on our legs, we can be a little lighter on our hands. We're also doing some core work here. So your low belly lifts. It's supporting that length in your spine. Stay for just a couple more moments here. Now we will step left foot hip distance from right, hands onto your thighs. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, rise and reach, thumbs to the sky. Stand into your mountain. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape, and then exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward, and then chair base or hands onto your blocks. Step your right foot back. We create our lunge. We let it be sturdy from the ground up. So stamp your left heel into your mat. Steer your left hip back and your right hip forward. Find that sneaky core work with your low belly lifting. Let it support a very long spine, and maybe you get a bit lighter into your hands as we're here. Deep breaths. A sense of left hip back and right hip forward. 3 moments where we are. Right foot steps hip distance from our left. Hands onto your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, increase the hinge at your hips. Inhale, thumbs to the sky, standing, and then we pause in our mountain. We'll add a twist. Let's take chair pose. Inhale, thumbs to the sky. Hands onto your thighs, traction. Inhale your heart forward. Hands to the base of your chair or hands onto your blocks. Step your left foot back. We're in our lunge again. Get sturdy into our base that we already have visited. Left hand stays on your block or on the base of your chair, and we spin open, right thumb to the sky, and we pause here. We don't want to be round and crumbly, so find that core work Lengthen through your spine. Breathe into the twists and turns here so that we can do that in life also. And then unravel your right hand onto your block and step your left foot hip distance from your right. Take your hands onto your thighs and inhale, length. Exhale, increase the hinge in your hips. Let's stay with our chair, thumbs to the sky, and then stand into your mountain, palms facing out. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, inhale. Hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Your next inhale is the traction of length into your spine, and then hands to the base of your chair or onto your blocks. Right foot steps back. We get sturdy into our base that we constructed earlier. We add the twist, right hand on your block or base of chair, thumb to the sky with your left arm to the sky. Stay sturdy, keep breathing. You want an inhale of length into your spine and an exhale of that little easy twist. Just an experiment, just exploring. Gracefully unwind your left hand onto your block. Step your right foot hip distance from your left. We'll stay with our chair pose, so hands to your thighs. Inhale some length and then exhale, stay in your legs with the hinge at your hips. Turn it into chair pose, thumbs to the sky, and then stand into your mountain. Place your right foot onto the base of your chair. If you're not using your chair or that doesn't feel comfortable to you, come up onto your right toes, sort of like when we did a little twist across the body. So you can do this on the base of your right toes, or you can do this placing your right foot on the base of your chair. Thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. We'll turn to our right. So you're doing that either with your foot on your chair or you're doing that on the ball of your right foot, so like on those right toes. Twists and turns yet again. You want to tend to the outer left hip hugging in so we're not collapsed into that, and that's true whether your foot is on your chair or you're on your toes. You could experiment further with lifting your foot lightly off your chair a little bit. So only if it feels like something that's of interest today. When you turn your gaze, the balance becomes interesting. So you could shift your gaze a little bit to the side, or keep looking where you're looking and have fun cooking. Last couple moments. Unwind. If your foot is on your chair, bring your hands to your hips. Let's be mindful as we step down and into our mountain. Left foot, either you come onto the ball of it or you place it carefully and mindfully, maybe with your hands on your hips here too, onto your chair base. Outer right hip is hugging in, so we're not hanging out. We're mindful and we're in our mountain, even here, even now. Thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. Turn to your left. Let it be playful. If it's wobbly, good thing we're doing it, right? It's all about how we frame things. If we think that a wobble means that we're doing it wrong, what's that about? Have a good chuckle. Be happy that we're doing this. It means that when things get wobbly out there, and they will, that we can smile and move on. We can go with the twists and turns and learn. Last few moments here. Maybe you play with turning your gaze a little bit more. I'm busy looking at you, but you could play with that. Maybe you play with lifting that foot off your chair a little bit. 2 more moments. Unwind slowly, hands to your hips. Let's dismount. Left foot hip distance from right. Stand into your mountain. Pause for a moment. We'll add our chair pose again. Bending your knees, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale and traction some length. Now this time when you put your hands onto the base of your chair or onto your blocks, we'll step our left foot back and straighten our front leg. Now as you're doing that, I want us to be very careful not to get head lower than hips. And you can stay on the ball of your back foot or you can turn your back foot flat. The benefit to the back foot flat is it's sturdier. The challenge is that it gets stickier. So if you're feeling like ball of the back foot is better for you, I agree. Now we're just setting a foundation here like we did with our lunge. So hinging at your hip, lengthening through your spine, breathing into all the bits that are talking to you. And at the same time seeing if we can minimize the chatter, if you know what I mean. We're not judging our performance here. We're breathing into sensations. 2 moments. Now if you did put your back foot flat, spin onto the ball of your back foot like we practiced at the very beginning of this practice, and then step your left foot hip distance from your right, hands to your thighs. Inhale, get some length. Stay in your knees bent position as we hinge at the hips, and then make it chair, thumbs to the sky, a V shape, and stand. Arms along your side. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hands to your thighs. Inhale, traction, some length. Either hands to the base of your chair or onto your blocks. Step your right foot back. And we design our pyramid on this side. So straightening your front leg. Decide with that hip hinge and your head higher than your hips if you want to stay on the back toes or if you like that back foot flat. Left hip back and right hip forward. Really think about lengthening out the crown of your head and pressing into your left big toe mound so that you activate the muscles in your front leg. Last couple of moments here. To dismount, if you did put your back heel flat, spin onto the ball of your back foot, step your right foot, hip distance from your left, and then bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, and then stand into your mountain. Adding on, bend your knees, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward and then hands to your chair or onto your blocks. Step your left foot back so your right foot is forward, straighten your front leg. Either turn the back foot flat or stay on the ball of your back foot. Keep your head high, your left hand on your block, right thumb to the sky, and we twist open with straight legs or as straight as we can manage. Either back foot flat or on the base of your back toes. See if you can feel your right hip draw back as opposed to swinging out to the side. 2 moments here. Unwind your right hand back onto your block and spin on your back toes. Step your left foot hip distance from your right and bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale, traction, some length. Exhale, hinge a little deeper into the hips. Keep your knees bent for chair pose, thumbs to the sky, and then stand. Palms face out. Second side of that, bend your knees, chair pose, inhale. Hands to your thighs as we fold, and then inhale your heart forward, hands to the base of your chair or onto your blocks. Step your right foot back. We're building a pyramid, so we straighten the front leg and keep a hinge at our hips. We're not rounded, and our head is above our hips. Right hand stays on your block or on the base of your chair. Left thumb to the sky as you twist open. Think about drawing your left hip back and your right hip forward. You can have the back foot flat or stay on the ball of your back foot. Just a few moments here. Every inhale, grow long. Every exhale, little twist through your spine. And then unwind and take your left hand onto your block, spin onto your back toes, maybe both hands are on the base of your chair. We step right foot hip distance from left, hands to your thighs, inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Keep your knees bent for a chair pose, thumbs to the sky, and then stand and fully inhabit your mountain. Majestic. Ears over shoulders, over hips, over heels. One more time, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, your heart forward. Take your hands onto the base of your chair or onto your blocks, and then we'll step onto the ground. So one knee and then the other. We move mindfully here too. Take your blocks off to the side. I'm going to move my chair so that you're able to see me. You probably don't really need to move yours. And this is a very good time to think about your folded blanket to sit on. Extend both of your legs out in front of you. And if that becomes something that feels a little rounded, sit on your folded blanket. Mine's pretty tiny. You probably have a bigger one that you could use, so that we can get that length through our spine that we just found in pyramid pose and the poses before. Now, if it's sticky and your knees need to stay a bit bent, that's fine. Straighten your legs if that's available and curl your toes back towards you, and imagine that we're in our mountain pose, but here seated with our legs out in front of us. You could even employ your blocks here on either side of you so that you have something to press into to smile your collarbones. Step your right foot over your left leg and place that on the ground. Now, this is where we want to be a bit diligent about staying tall, because it's going to be tempting to round, and I don't want us to do that. You can slide your right block back behind you and turn your fingers away from you. Left thumb to the sky, a V shape. Pressing into our right hand, it's like we're finding that length through our spine that's almost a bit of a back bend. And then either hold on to your right thigh, or it could be that some of us take the left arm to the outside of the thigh and we find a twist here. And it's a leveraged twist, but it's not one that's aggressive. So we inhale and grow tall. And we exhale and just find that little bit of rotation through the spine. Be sweet. Be thoughtful. Be present. We're going to stay here for a little stretch of time. You can always back off of it or get more padding to sit on. Maybe close your eyes and feel how this whole practice is an inside job. Grow tall on your inhale. Loving nudge into the twist on your exhale. 30 seconds of me being silent. Now, unravel just as thoughtfully as we came in. So take your tricep off the back of the thigh, unwind both legs out in front of you, scoot your block if you're using it so that they're right next to your hips, or maybe you're on your fingertips here. Curl your toes back, and we're tall in the saddle with our straight legs out in front of us, or attempt at straight legs out in front of us. And then step your left foot over your right leg. Make sure that we're still constructing some tall juiciness in our spine. Curl your right toes back towards you. Slide your left block back or your fingertips back and turn your fingers away from you on your block. Right thumb to the sky, a V shape. We stay very, very tall and either hold on and hug that knee, the left knee, or take the right tricep outside of the thigh. Every inhale, grow a little taller. Every exhale, just that little loving nudge into your twist. Stay with it, breath. by breath by breath. Last couple of moments here. Can you grow a little taller on your next inhale? And just easefully twist maybe a tiny bit deeper. And then gently unravel. Slide your left block forward, extend both legs straight out in front of you. Sit tall. And as we sit tall, we're going to bring the bottoms of our feet together. So I'm going to relocate the blocks a little bit further back and press into them and lift. It could be that you prefer your blocks underneath your thighs and hold on to your shins, but we get tall, have a little bit of a hip stretch for a moment here. You could close your eyes and feel the meditation moment. Sometimes it's nice to even bring your blocks behind you or your fingertips behind you here and grow a little back bend, uplift. Our 30 seconds of silence in this new shape. And then slowly draw your knees together. Take your blocks off to the side if you were using them. With your feet hip distance, press into your feet to come off your perch if you've got a folded blanket in the mix. And then we will lie down into our Shavasana final meditation from here. So if you want to cover yourself or put a hoodie on to be warm or anything else, you can either keep your feet on the ground and your knees knocking in on each other, or extend one leg and then the other leg straight. Sometimes a little shimmy of shoulder blades underneath you is nice. And then close, maybe cover your eyes. Shavasana final meditation. You're always welcome to stay in your Shavasana final meditation as long as you'd like. If you're ready, move your fingers and toes. Maybe stretch your arms and legs away from each other. Gather your knees into your chest. Roll to one side. Use the strength of your arms to bring yourself up to a comfortable way to sit, any way that's comfortable to you. Place your palms on your thighs. Take a moment to absorb the twists and the turns that we've done on our mat. so that we can take that grace with us off our mat and into our lives, where the real yoga happens. I'm Andrea. Thank you so much for practicing with me.